Okay, welcome back. So, the task for this week is to create two HTML documents and one style sheet and link the two documents, the HTML documents, to the style sheet. And then you will upload all three of those, both HTML documents and your style sheet, to Moodle. Okay? So you'll be handing in three different documents this week. Okay, so as far as creating the two HTML documents, you're welcome to use the same exact code that you wrote from last week. You can use it for the first one, like for example, I'm using my same all about trees. Let's go ahead and preview that in Firefox. And you remember this from last week, all about trees. My H3 heading here says what Wikipedia says about trees, and I got this picture. Okay, what I did is I just copied all of that code and I created a second document. You just go to new file and create a new document, just like last week, okay? And paste it in here, and then just change a couple of things. You can change whatever you want, change the content of these paragraphs here. What I did is I changed my H3 heading to say, this is the page with the willow, and then I added a different image. You'll see in my image folder here, this is my assets folder, by the way. A few of you were asking what I meant when I was referring to uploading an assets folder. It's just all the extra stuff, so if you had videos or music, sound files or images or whatever, you'd put them in this folder, and then if a few of you asking me what I meant by that. So anyway, you can see I have a willow.jpg in here, and that's all I did. Those are the only differences in these two HTML documents. Nice and easy. So I'm going to preview that in Firefox, and there we go. All about trees. This is the page with the willow, and here's a willow tree. Okay, I changed just enough so that it's obviously a different page. Okay, and the reason why I wanted to do that is simply because it's incredibly powerful to be able to style multiple HTML documents using one style sheet. HTML and CSS, they're two languages that are really intertwined, and you learn them together. It's a brilliant setup, really, because there's a point when you're designing with HTML where actually letting CSS take over. It's incredibly time-saving and efficient. Okay. Imagine that you had a website with an enormous amount of content, one with hundreds of pages, okay? You can link one style sheet to and govern the presentation of all of those pages. For example, the size of the headings, H1, H2, H3, the fonts used, and even the positioning of text and images, background color, okay? CSS is awesome. So as far as web design goes, HTML is the structure of the website, okay? And CSS is the style, okay? So, not much to that, right? Creating your two HTML documents, just use what we used from last week. Let's go ahead and create our style sheet now, and then we're going to link those to our two HTML documents.